Is Herman's played by Harry Styles. February board meeting at USU. The University of Sydney Union Board met for the first time of the year on Friday with its executive just returning from an expense-paid vacation throughout the UK. Week of Welcome, a huge success. When the USU successfully held its annual Welcome Fest earlier this month, the board meeting was a happy occasion. A rise from 2022, CEO Andrew Mills reported to the board that between 45,000 and 50,000 people attended Welcome Fest. There has been a 14% increase in membership from this time last year due to the rise in USU members over Welcome Week. Mills informed the board that there were no safety issues at Welcome Fest, because the USU now takes longer than before to set up and take down stalls. Vice-Chancellor Mark Scott congratulated the USU through email as a result of Welcome Fest's success, much to Mills' delight. Honey receives no cordial emails from Scott. Finances. How is the USU's divestiture program progressing? The USU continued to post solid financial results, with profitability at its shops and revenue that was stronger than anticipated in January, as it has been doing for the past year. Honorary Treasurer David Zhu informed the board that due to the USU's successful financial operations, $1.2 million had been spent on student activities. However, as Honorary Secretary Isla Mowbray inquired about the USU's advancement, the discussion became contentious. Divesting from businesses that engage in unethical behavior, particularly the fossil fuel sector. Following an Honey article last year criticizing the union's lack of progress in doing so, the USU board decided to once again pursue the divestment from fossil fuels it first proposed in 2020. The USU was gradually divesting, according to Rebecca Sani, finance director, and this procedure was based on market conditions. The USU has not yet divested from some of its immoral assets, according to Sani, since it does not want to lock in losses on such investments. Mowbray voiced her worry about the USU's holdup in divesting. Board members have been requested to respond to a poll outlining their thoughts on the USU's investments in order to ease that tension. David Wright, a director appointed by the University Senate, however, stated to the board that he desired the board's opinion to be canvassed as a whole rather than the opinions of specific directors. He said that this was due to the fact that board members only had 2-year mandates. Considering all the back and forth, it appears that complete divestiture is still a ways off. Measurements of living expenses. The USU has plans to address the rising cost of living crisis. The USU's new selection of cheap food goods was revealed by CEO Mills. Highlights include $3 chips at Carslaw, $6 eggs on toast at Laneway Cafe, and $6 pizzas at Courtyard. Mills stated in response to Honey's inquiries over the initiatives that they would be provided to pupils on a one-per-student-per-day basis going forward. According to USU President Cole Scott Kerwood, a free breakfast project that Honey had before suggested has been expedited. Last year, USU employees earned a 4.6% salary increase in addition to an end-of-year bonus that Mills characterized as a part performance, part cost of living metric. Mills compared the USU's salary increases to the 2.1% raise the university gave its staff members last year, despite the fact that this implies USU personnel received a wage decrease in real terms in 2022. Lack of transparency. Honey and the USU's own Pulp, 2 student media outlets, raised concerns about the USU's transparency procedures. Marlo Hurst, a senior editor at Pulp, drew attention to the absence of the USU's conflict of interest register on the organization's brand new website. The transfer to the new, custom-built site, according to Mills, caused this, and the board decided to implement the necessary upgrades. Honey drew attention to the fact that, despite the USU website describing this as a transparency measure, the motions considered in the board's private in-camera sessions have not been made accessible in board minutes for a number of months. Scott Kerwood and the board acknowledged the mistake and then read the motions that would be considered privately at this meeting. Strikes. In response to inquiries from Honey, Scott Kerwood stated that the USU will completely cease operations during the next week 3 strike by the university personnel. Before last year's strikes, the board unanimously approved a move to do the same thing. But the USU nonetheless carried on with some services. What to see the new disabilities room will be complete by September of this year rather than September of next year, according to Alexander Poirier, the portfolio holder for disabilities. Vice President Talita Goyle stated that discussions for a student safety conference are in progress, while Nash Sharafi, who holds the ethnocultural portfolio, stated that improvements to the ethnocultural room are being communicated about. In the old location of Cereal Hub in the home building, the USU has quietly soft-launched a new bakery. It seems to be good.